Not even gonna go inside. Not even gonna go inside, guys. It's almost 70 degrees. I came home early. 1 second. Whew. Came home early to do one thing. Drive this beast. Whew. I don't know why I always get nervous. Alright, closing the hood. Latching the hood. Sorry guys, I wanted to do some grand intro for this. But truth be told, I just can't wait. Oh, let's just get this fucker out of the way. Alright. Oh, I forgot. I'll do this and let it warm up while I get this. I'm backing it out. It is smoking like a son bitch. Holy shit, I'm driving it, guys. In first gear. First gear was useless. Definitely something wrong. I don't know if it's O2. It can't be O2s. Thinking it's got to be TPS or I don't know. I'm not real sure. Not getting hot, not at all. Temperature is perfect. It's got a total lack of power. I don't like the way it shifts either, really, but I can get used to that. It's just different, is all. So I have a few things to check for sure. One more time around the block won't hurt. gauge is fully functional. Electric fan, functional. But I'm having some issues. Not sure what. Code is just O2 sensors. Okay guys, my first test. I want you to see this. Is at points, okay, you see that at 0.7? All right, now I have a ground hooked up to the ground and a sensor hooked up to the, and another one in the, okay. Ground is hooked up to ground, positive is hooked up to the sensor signal. This should be reading less than 1 volt, like 0.95, okay? And then from there it should be going up. Oh, because I don't have the ignition on, sorry. All right, so turn your key to on. Now there's plenty of videos on this, so this is definitely not a instructional video. I'm just showing you how I'm troubleshooting. All right, boom, look at that. All right, so my throttle is closed and it is getting 5 volts. It should be the other way around. It should be only 1 volt right now and it should go up to 5. And then watch this. As I open the throttle, it's gonna go down. So, now let's roll around over here and see what we have in our book. Now here's a big issue I have. First of all, what are we drinking on today? Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Ninja Turtles. I have a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle tattoo. You guys want to see it? Yeah, I thought so. Let's see it. Boom. I got a thing for the turtles, man. Alright. Originally I had these switched. Okay? I had them switched. I had the ground and the 5 volt supply switched. Here's the issue. Alright? If we look here, the ground is brown and yellow. Okay? Brown and yellow. And if you remember from the Dodge, go here. If you remember from the Dodge, here we go, perfect, right to the page. If you remember from the Dodge, black and light blue was always ground. So number 3, ground. And then number 3 is ground. So the very first one, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Yeah. All right. So the very first one should be ground, brown and yellow. And if we, excuse me, and if we take this out and look in, this would be number 3 right here. It's not labeled anywhere. But anyway, it is, so if we're looking at it right like this, this would be number 3, right? And it's brown and yellow. And I had to make it longer so it's into some light blue. So, so this is the dilemma. This is what I can do. This is where I'm at. So I can either, so I got 2 problems, right? I got this problem, which is the high idle problem, which obviously there's something going on with the TPS. It should not be reading that way. So I've got this problem and I've got backfiring issue. The backfiring issue has got to be from timing. So what I need to do is I need to check and make sure that I pinned in 7 and 8 in the right locations. That last night when I couldn't sleep last night, obviously. So last night when I was staying up in bed, that's what I was thinking, like, shit, what if I didn't pin them in right? Now, I did take caution and I did take a lot of time to make sure that I was doing all that right, but I could have made a mistake. So we need to be sure of what we're doing. So I'm going to look at that right now and verify that before I make any changes. So what I can do about the TPS is I can cut the wires, splice them together, without soldering, splice them together, and test from there. Next thing I wanted to test is the PCM controls. So let's start with, the only PCM control you touch is this one right here, if you do it like me, because I kept the TJ harness, right? So this is the only one you touch. Okay, so basically I just took the rear of it off. I'll look in there to verify that all the connectors are there. Basically I'm going to go one by one. So injector number 7 should be violet and tan. Number 1 is a temperature transmission temperature sensor, which that's for an automatic. Since I don't have one, that one's empty. So, alright, let's start over here. So, if you look at the plug, there's a little 1 right there. So that's number 1. These are all numbered. Okay, so this is 1 through 12, or 1 through 11, right? Okay, so that one would be the temperature signal, and the next one would be injector number 7, a violet with a tan tracer. And if I plug this back in, you'll see number 2 right here, violet with a tan tracer. There's a tan tracer on there somewhere. Yep, it's on the back. Okay, so I do have injector 7. I thought for sure this is where my problem would be, but that basically I'm just showing you. I'm not going to go through step by step on this one. I just want to show you if you run into an issue like this, make sure and go back through your PCM controls and make sure you have all that correct. So that's what I'm about to do right now. I want to go back through that this whole spiel and make sure that all of these are perfectly right all the way down. Alright, that's what I'm going to get on right now. So I went through every single pin. Every single pin is good. You can use a flashlight like this and you can just like I showed you in the wiring videos, you can hold the connector a certain way to where you can actually see the metal pins right up against the plastic. So I know that I have them all pinned in there right, every single one, and it's like, fuck. Alright, back to the TPS. Now as far as the coil goes, it looks like the coil is wired up exactly the way it should be. The gray wire is the driver and it's in slot number 2. It's exactly the same on here is the connector for the Dodge. The black and gray one that's on my pointer finger here, that is the driver and it's on number 2. So this is the way that would plug in. Last resort would be to switch those 2 wires and just see, like, maybe for some reason, whatever, they're off. Because let me show you this. Let me show you this shit right here. Okay. Alright, follow me. TPS sensor. Look at the way that this picture is represented, as if the clip is on top. And number 3 should be the 5-volt supply. It should be black and light blue. Here's my sensor. If we look at it like this, okay, number 3 should be the first one, and it should be black and light blue. It is not. It is violet and white, which would be number 1, violet and white, 5-volt supply. Originally, I had these switched, but on paper, you can see that it shouldn't be switched, because if I go to the Jeep section, God guys, this shit's pissing me off. Alright, go to the Jeep throttle position sensor. Number 3 is orange and yellow. That's number 3. looking at that, we already looked at that. We know that's right. But this is the Jeep we're talking about. So I'll tell you what, and then the signals, it stays the same. So the signal, so it's these two that are switched. And I bet you if I switch those right now, I bet you it clears up and does it right. So, well, I'm gonna do it, god damn it. I'll be goddamned. Alright, don't mind my fuckery here. But look at that. Switch those wires around. Reading the way it's supposed to. And then, sorry about the lighting. Here we go. Going up. Oh yeah. Never dropped. Going down. There you go. Alright, so I got those flipped. So I gotta have to wait until it gets a little more awake outside before I light this bitch up. So in the meantime, I'm gonna clean up that air filter because it looks like fucking hell. And once it gets a little better outside, or a little more, once it's not so early, then I can fire this thing up, open the garage doors, and rev on it a little bit and see if that cleared up everything. Okay guys, I didn't show it in the video, but I did start her up. Now, when I had it running, it was running at about 1100 RPMs, you saw that. That's where it would stay idling. When I stepped on the gas, you could tell that it wanted to get up and go, but it couldn't. It would just like, just pull right back on you. So, it's supposed to idle at about 5 to 600. I switched those TPS wires. I started it up, ran for a few seconds. It was running right at 5 to 600. Now, TPS sensor will cause a misfire. A misfire will cause your timing to be bad. Timing to be bad will cause a backfire. So it seems like that's probably my issue right now. If I have any luck, for my Irish ancestors, sorry, I got a bit of a lisp. If I have any of that luck, then this is gonna solve everything. All right, she wants to stand up. All right, guys. Well, my wife's getting her hair done. Of course I can't go to the garage right now. So sometime today I'll get out there and go start her up. We're gonna give it another try driving it. Okay, so everybody cross your fingers that everything's gonna be okay. Giving up for right now. Pissed me off. God damn it. Alright. I've had a lot of help from people on YouTube. I've never denied that. I've never said this has been all me. So I'm asking for everybody's help one more time. Here is the diagnosis. Let me put the tripod on because it's going to take a little minute or two. Alright, bear with me. Here we go. Alright, here's the deal. You start that thing up, it starts up every fucking time. Sorry, I'm pissed off right now. I'm going to have a little bit of cuss words coming at you. It'll start up every time. Every time. Fires up right away. Idles. It idles. It doesn't die. In fact, it idles better sitting than it does when you like have it in drive and you're just kind of coasting along. When you're doing that, it's kind of like it's almost wanting to die. So the idle is too low. Idle is low. When you get in it and you press the gas, it's surging. Not hard, just lightly. I mean, you push on the gas, you're going nowhere. The RPMs are through the roof, but you ain't going nowhere. I mean, you're going somewhere. You know, it's going. It's just not. It's going at its own pace. It ain't going at your throttle pace. Okay, so let me try to explain this a little bit. Let me calm down. All right. You start it up. It idles somewhere under 500. Okay? From there, you get in it. You start to drive it. It sounds like dog shit. Like it's just fucking firing all over the place. Like all off, all the way. I have pulled all the spark plugs and re-gapped them because they were gapped a little high. So I re-gapped them to 35. The one side was clean, the other side was dirty. Passenger side clean, driver side dirty. Like one of them, I smeared off some liquid. Didn't smell like gas, had to be oil. I didn't put any oil in the cylinders prior. I just, lubed them up or whatever. So you get in it, you hammer the pedal down, and you're going. And it's not like just a total waste, just a total loss. But it is a serious loss of power. You can feel it, like it just wants to go so fast. It wants to hit hard. You can feel the front end pick up, but it's just barely there. You can just barely feel that. That's where I'm at. I tested the TPS sensor. The wires were crisscrossed backwards. Once I did that, the RPMs dropped from 1100 to about where they are now, just under 500. And if I pull the connector, there is no change in idle or the way it runs at all. There's no change. So it could be the TPS. I don't know. You tell me. I checked the idle air control valve. I pulled it out, had my wife turn the key. I pushed it all the way in, and when she turned the key, that thing popped out and set itself where it needed to be. So we can rule out the IAC. We can almost rule out the TPS because I did test it with a multimeter. It did get voltage as I cranked on the butterfly valve. I didn't test the map sensor, but I don't think that's it. Hold on, I'm gonna have some coffee. All right, what else did I do? What else did I test? Pulled all the spark plugs, gapped them, put them back in, turned it on, same thing. You can hear it missing. You can hear it's just not firing on all cylinders. It just sounds so bad. It sounds so crappy when you're driving down the road. Just like... Does that help? What else did I test? So I tested the two main sensors that would screw with your throttle. Okay. I keep going back to this coil. The ignition coil is from the Jeep Straight 6 engine. It's a totally different connection, but the wiring is the same. But I don't know. Maybe it's a weaker. Maybe it's just a weaker coil. I haven't tested it yet. The thing is, if I get the Dodge coil, then I have to splice in the new connector. So that's why I'm avoiding it and kind of trying to exhaust all other options. So anyway, guys, that's where I'm pretty much at. I tested the TPS, tested the IAC, gapped the spark plugs. That's it. Let me know what you think. Hit me up in the comments below. Like, comment, subscribe. Montana Low Gear. Sorry for the foul mood.